There is a lot to unpack in this game. LeBron James goes for 38, most points in a playoff game at the age of 40 or older all time. Luka had a stomach bug. He had 17 points, but he also missed a ton of shots. In fact, he missed 10 of them, so that wasn't great after coming off a near triple-double in Game 2. They only gave up 85 points to the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 2. They gave up 116. Jaden McDaniels, who interestingly was drafted by the Lakers in 2020, then later traded a couple times from OKC to Minnesota. He goes for 30 in this one, 24 of them coming in the paint. That's also a storyline because, well, Minnesota outscored LA 56-26 in the paint. And then there's the other storyline. LA had 19 turnovers and the Timberwolves scored 28 points off of those turnovers. Just a perfect recipe for Minnesota to take a 2-1 series lead. Back here with CBS Sports HQ NBA analyst John Gonzalez. John, we can start in a lot of different directions, but I'm going to start with how this game ended. It's tied at 103 with 4:30 to play, and Anthony Edwards puts on a clinic to end this game. What did you see in those final minutes where he was able to put the team on his back?
Yeah, he was fantastic tonight, especially in the fourth quarter, especially late. Wolves ended up outscoring the Lakers by 10 in the fourth quarter. They haven't closed all that well at times this season, so that was a little bit of an anomaly, and it really was Anthony Edwards taking over where he goes for 29, 8, and 8. He makes 5 of his 10 three-pointers, made the most three-pointers in the NBA this season, really has improved there. But he also made a great defensive play late in that game, Hakeem, where Rui Hachimura went to the hole, and Anthony Edwards denied him, so he was fantastic at both ends of the floor. And that's really what you want to see from this guy who's everybody's talking about. We've discussed it on the Beyond the Arc pod about who's the next face of the NBA after LeBron and Steph and KD move on. And obviously Wemby is first in line there, but Anthony Edwards is not far behind. And you saw why tonight. They got a supreme effort, the Lakers did, from LeBron. And Anthony Edwards said, hey, we played together in the Olympics. I hate to do this to you, but it's going to be my night.
Yeah, and he has said that he doesn't want to be the face of the NBA. He wants Wembanyama to have that. He said that's his thing. He can be the face of the league. I'm good as he tries to chase NBA championships. And, of course, they don't have Karl Anthony Towns anymore, so he's making more threes, attempting more threes now. You saw Julius Randle getting some buckets in this game. Jaden McDaniels, though, goes for 30. And John, this is another situation here where we talked about Gary Trent Jr. for Milwaukee. Jaden McDaniels goes for 30, and 24 of them are in the paint. The most paint points by a player in T-Wolves history in the playoffs.
Yeah, Jaden McDaniels was fantastic tonight. I think, Gary Trent was a little bit stranger and harder to predict than Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels this season, for a lot of years, basically for much of his career up until this season, people have been waiting for him to take that step forward. And I think sometimes it's easy to forget that he's only 24 years old and the offensive end hadn't come to him naturally. This season, he was much, much improved at the offensive end. Now, 30 points on all of those in the paint. They needed every one of them tonight, and he was fantastic. Julius Randle, too. Julius Randle at times can be a bit of a ball stopper. In the second half of the season, he really started to pass the ball more, really started to defer to Anthony Edwards, realized his place on the team. Those three guys together were fantastic. And you mentioned the points in the paint. Doubled up the Lakers. They had 56 points in the paint. Lakers only had 26. So that was a major reason why the Wolves won tonight.
Yeah, you look at the domination in the paint. They just could not figure a way. LeBron has a great game, but Luka's dealing with a stomach bug. So it's like these things happen at a terrible time when Luka's coming off a near triple-double, and he just really wasn't himself. He took a high volume of shots and missed a lot.
Yeah, it's a bummer for LeBron too, right? Because you have Luka and those two guys. We talked about a pregame where you needed a big game from both of them. Luka having an illness, what can you really do? But LeBron gave them everything you could possibly expect from him. At 40 years old, he played 41 minutes. He carried them the entire game. He played the entire fourth quarter. He had a game-high 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, couple of steals, couple of blocks. He went 5 of 9 from 3 massive threes in the fourth quarter to keep them in the game until the Wolves finally pulled away. And part of it was Luka wasn't there. They had a good shooting night as a team from the floor and from 3, but they missed 7 free throws. They ended up losing by 12, so that didn't help. And then you mentioned this, but this was key as well. The turnovers absolutely killed the Lakers tonight. On a night when LeBron was fantastic, they have 19 turnovers, and the Wolves scored 28 points off of those. That's really difficult to overcome, and obviously they couldn't.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. unacceptable. That is just, I mean, that's putrid right there. I mean, you're JJ Redick and you're just like, what are we doing? We got to take care of the basketball. Right now, the series price is updated. Minnesota minus 210 as they take a 2-1 series lead. Lakers plus 176. Do you still trust and or believe in Luka and LeBron to win this series? Because you're getting plus money.
Yeah, I believe in it less. I picked the Lakers in 7 games, and it was obviously when you pick a team in 7 games, you're not so sure that they're going to pull it off, and it wouldn't surprise me prior to me picking them if the Wolves had ended up winning this series. Now, all of a sudden, with a 2-1 lead, a couple more games at home, yeah, the momentum is squarely in the Wolves' favor, and we've seen that the Lakers have not been a good defensive team over the last month and a half of the season. They obviously have paint protection problems, rim protection problems, because they don't have any size beyond Jackson Hayes is their only center, and they don't really trust him, obviously. So yeah, advantage Wolves right now. I would say that the Lakers really have some work to do, and that begins with Luka getting healthy and getting back to being himself.
Game 4 Sunday, they'll look to get right, and the Lakers will look to even up the series, or Anthony Edwards and now Jaden McDaniels maybe take a 3-1 series lead coming your way on Sunday. John Gonzalez here with us on CBS Sports HQ. We've got 4 playoff games on Saturday, starting with the Cavs and Heat. Cleveland up 2-0 there, followed by the 1 seed in the West, the Thunder, going for a sweep of the Grizzlies. Ja Morant doubtful, injured his hip in Game 3. Game 4 between the Nuggets and Clippers. A series, Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero combining for 61 in the win. As I mentioned, a tale of 2 halves for Boston. They were up by 10 at the break, and they scored just 34 points in the second half. That Magic defense, it's not just magic, it's hard work, grit, determination, holding the Celtics just 31% from the floor. And it was really that third quarter was the difference for the Magic in this game, able to hold Boston to just 11 points in that third quarter. And not going to get it done. The defending NBA champions got to figure some things out, clean some things up. Game 4 back in Orlando on Sunday. Get some instant analysis. Welcome in CBS Sports HQ NBA analyst John Gonzalez. John, that was wild ending there, and you saw Orlando start to kind of separate itself in the third quarter, and then Boston gets back into it in the fourth. What was your reaction to how that played out, especially that last couple possessions there?
Yeah, that's the Magic defense, right? I mean, like, that's what we talked about, where if they were going to win this game, if they were going to get any games and not get swept out of this first round series, they needed to do a couple of things. They needed to have Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner have big games. They did, as you mentioned, they combined for 61 points. And then that defense really had to harry the Boston Celtics offense, and they did. They forced 19 turnovers tonight. And this is a team with the Orlando Magic that they have a unique skill set in that they're one of the few teams in the NBA that size-wise, physicality-wise, defense-wise can match up with the Celtics and really run the Celtics off of the three-point line. Tonight, the Celtics only took 27 threes, Akeem. During the regular season, they averaged 47. So, like, the Magic, that was their formula. They tried it in the first 2 games. They were successful in the first 2 games with the exception of them losing the first 2 games. Tonight, the formula worked.
21 turnovers is going to be a point of contention for Joe Mazzulla after this one. You got to clean that up. I mean, look at the points off of the turnovers. 26 points for Orlando off of those 21 turnovers. That's a problem if you're an elite team not taking care of the basketball, John.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I think credit to the Magic because the Magic defense is really legit. They were second best defense in the NBA during the regular season. When you have a guy, I don't know how much like you saw them putting Jonathan Isaac out on the perimeter to harry guys. That's a 7-footer who moves like a guard, who's gigantic. And like Kristaps Porzingis, even, who's also a 7-footer, was having a hard time getting his shot off against that guy. And yeah, so the way that the Magic defense is set up, the way that Jamal Mosley has them out there, just all over the place, super active, up in guys' jerseys, really getting after them. That creates turnover issues. Now, if you're the Celtics, yes, Joe Mazzulla is going to have some issues with it, but I kind of almost look at it the other way. Tatum was the one guy who showed up for them tonight offensively, a little bit of Jaylen Brown as well. They didn't have Drew Holiday. Kristaps Porzingis was a negative. Derek White was fine. They had nothing out of their bench. Peyton Pritchard, who's a 6th man of the year, I don't even know if he showed up and went down to Orlando for.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we noticed that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.